This is Elon Musk sitting down with BBC reporter, I think his name is James Clayton, and it starts with the BBC guy interviewing Elon. It flips very quickly. They're doing Twitter Spaces at the same time. Smart on Elon Musk's side, so they can't cut and not play all the clips. Here's Musk and Clayton.
Content you don't like or hateful? What do you mean to describe a hateful thing?
Yeah, I mean, just content that will solicit a reaction, something that may include something that is slightly racist or slightly sexist, those kinds of things.
So you think if something is slightly sexist, it should be banned?
No,
is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying anything. I'm saying.
Well, I'm just curious. I'm trying to understand what you mean by hateful content, and I'm asking for specific examples. And you just said that if something is slightly sexist, that's hateful content. Does that mean that it should be banned?
Well, you've asked me whether my feed, whether it's got less or more. I'd say it's got slightly more.
That's why I'm asking for examples. Can you name one example?
I honestly don't use. Honestly, I
don't. You can't name a single example.
I'll tell you why. Because I don't actually use that for you feed anymore. Because I just don't particularly like it.
But you said
actually, a lot of people are quite similar. I only look at
hang on a
my
second.
following.
You said you've seen more hateful content, but you can't name a single example, not even one.
I'm not sure I've used that feed for the last 3 or 4 weeks. And
then how did you see the hateful content?
Because I've been using Twitter since you've taken it over for the last 6 months.
Okay, so then you must have at some point seen for you hateful content. I'm asking for one example.
Right.
And you can't give a single one.
And I'm saying.
Then I say, sir, that you don't know what you're talking about.
Really?
Yes, because you can't give me a single example of hateful content, not even one tweet. And yet you claimed that the hateful content was high.
Well,
that's false.
No, what I claimed...
You just lied.
What I claimed was there are many organizations that say that kind of information is on the rise. Now, whether it has on my feed or not... I mean, right, and
literally
you can something like the Strategic Dialogue Institute in the UK. They will say that. So
look, people will say all sorts of nonsense. I'm literally asking for a single example, and you can't name one.
Right, and as I already said, I don't use that feed. But
then how would you know that?
I don't think this is getting anywhere.
You literally said you experienced more hateful content, and then couldn't name a single example.
Right, and as I said,
that's absurd.
I haven't actually looked at that feed.
Then how would you know this hateful content?
Because I'm saying that's what I saw a few weeks ago. I can't give you an exact example. Let's move on.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. So you get knocked out, and you're like, hey, let's go ahead and let's end
this fight. Now that I'm on the canvas, no, that's the dissection of a media talking point in real time. It was pretty amazing to see.
My reaction is, one, you kind of hinted at this before. I don't know why any person would agree to anything that is not going to be aired in its entirety who is in a prominent position. In other words, if you want to interview me, that's fine. The whole thing has to air. And then people can listen to the whole thing in context. The fact that, a Trump would still sit and allow anybody to interview him, like, you're a super busy guy. And I would say the same thing to DeSantis or anybody else. You want me for an hour? Boom. We're talking for the entire hour, and it all goes public. And I'm bringing my own crew to record it, because if you try to cut and paste what I said, I won't allow that. And I think this is what you get. I think that's what people crave, that authenticity, because so much of what we are marinated in on a day-to-day basis is total bullshit. And people cut through it, and they recognize it.
The left is much better at molding words for political purposes than we are. They're constantly changing and policing language to that end. When they say hateful, what they want is for people to think that they're talking about hate speech. And what they really mean by hateful is anything that I don't like, anything that bothers me, anything that challenges my assumptions. I'm going to label that hateful and then have in the minds of a lot of people some association with, it must be like really ugly, racist, sexist, that's hateful. No, I mean, saying like maybe we should actually enforce immigration law at the U.S.-Mexico border, like that they would consider to be utterly hateful. I mean, there are things that they would put in that bucket that I think no normal person would ever consider to be hateful, but that's the whole point. They want to be able to control.
I think there was one word that journalist used that completely ruined his argument, is when he started using the word, slightly misogynistic, slightly transphobic. He's like, so now slightly is hateful. And then Elon Musk just pounced on that. It was over from there.
I also think the number of people who say, some would say, So, like some people say, some people
People are saying.
That's
People are saying.
Many people, probably the best.
I know that one.
That's
Probably.
when the person hasn't done their homework, because he could have easily said, he could have cited 2 or 3 different like organizations, and then Musk would have had to attack the organizations. But when he doesn't have any basis whatsoever, and he's just kind of relying on that ephemeral, some people say, many would say, it's evident that he hasn't done his homework. And you guys well know this. There's a lot of really lazy and dumb journalists, and they get credit for being way smarter than they actually are, because most people won't go after.